Welcome everyone to Walk in the Weird. I am Tyler, and as always with me,
Sean,
I
you
don't
all
know.
right?
That was a question.
You're,
Welcome back,
hey.
welcome back. Today, apparently, we have one of your oh so famous fun stories where everything goes well and we all leave in a happy, cheerful mood.
No, that's not it. That's not it at all.
Cool,
We're actually
awesome.
originally I wanted to mention this before. Originally we had this episode uploaded already. The audio kind of fucked up, so it's still going to be a short one like it was last time. Because half the story's missing, so we're gonna get to that,
And that's in the actual story.
and that's in the actual story. Half the
So
story's
you
missing.
got a quarter of the story.
It's been chopped down for just importance. No, I thought we would actually redo the case of Brandon Swanson since the audio gave out on us.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is you're gonna actually see two Brandon Swansons when on your feed. I'll have it so you guys know this is the redo, so you can listen to the first part and the second part, so you have the kind of full story.
Yeah,
So
the full story, and then be able to compare it to the detailed, a little bit more detailed story, and then this more abridged version, I guess, is the best way to do it. So, a lot of things with this case with Brandon Swanson. He is a native of Minnesota, actually, Leon County. Um, in it's like the southern or southwestern part of it. He graduated high school, and the only reason I'm doing that is because a lot of these theories that are coming up with this case surround him wanting to surrender his life, wanting him to give up his life and do something else. You know what I mean? Like, and then there was a whole thing that he was super intoxicated and a bunch of stuff. But we'll get to that one. But anyway, so Minnesota and everything like that. He was a native there. He grew up going to Marshall High School. About 2007 is like when he graduated, and then he chose to study wind turbines. No wonder he fucking went missing. Like, who studies wind turbines? Like,
I'm crazy.
someone crazy. No, I'm just kidding. No, so yeah, he went to technical college for that in the Minnesota West community and technical college. The campus is in Canby at that point in time, and it was for the academic year of May 13th, 2008. And then he stayed in Canby for the evening to celebrate with his friends at two different parties, which led up to the disappearance, and was witnessed drinking alcohol. But his friend said that he wasn't like drunk. You know what I mean? It's like one of those times where you cruise, like, you know what I
Like
mean?
you're not, but you're not. The room isn't spinning.
Right.
Like you're.
You're feeling good. You're feeling good.
You think you can still drive. You think you can
Yes.
still drive.
Yes. It's when that moment comes in and you're like, I can do this. If which by the way, if you ever get that moment,
Seriously,
don't
don't
drive.
do anything else,
Don't drive.
please.
Don't drive. You can't. We promise you can't. Even if you think, no, I got this.
I
No,
mean,
you
I
don't.
can, but you can't.
So the disappearance goes that Swanson left Canby for a 30-mile. It's like about 48 kilometers to those motherfuckers that use metrics for a drive home at midnight. Just before 2 a.m., he ended up calling his parents on his cell phone. He told them that he had driven at the time he had a Chevrolet Lumina. I don't know if you're familiar with that car.
I don't want to be.
Yeah, no, it's not a good car. He drove it off the road and into a ditch, which he could not remove, so he was kind of stuck there. So he was not hurt or any like physical thing. He just kind of drove it off the road, but he got stuck. So again, the whole don't drink and drive is probably why. The idea with it is that he kept calling his parents, and he told them like, hey, like you should come pick me up in the pickup truck, do whatever you got to do, whatever. And they drove out to where he described where he was at. He thought he was near a small town called Lind. He was
Good
actually
chocolate.
he was actually quite further along in the map. It shows where he thought he was is like a whole 10 miles away from where he actually was. Oh, I'm sorry, 25 miles from where he actually was. So again, the whole drinking thing, don't do it because cases like this, you get stuck in a place and you don't know where the fuck it is. So basically, according to the rest of the story, is that according to his parents, according to the call records and all that stuff, is that they got there and they were flicking. He was flicking his switch on and off. He's like, "Hey, dad, mom, kind of like look out for the switch, kind of listen out for my
To
truck."
for the lights.
Yeah,
The lights.
yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, to the light switch, like the high beams. So he was like, I could project these and they'll be able to see me from the road. So easy, I'll get picked up. We'll be out here before breakfast, right? So they were coming this way, and they guess they didn't really see him, or they because they were going on what they thought was towards Lind, but he wasn't there. As I told you, he was in a different place. They're not entirely sure where he was. His car was recovered in the middle of a highway, so it was like between two, I guess, two jurisdictions of police. So there was a lot of complication with that too. Um,
And I did have a thing I actually on our last episode. I don't think I brought it up, but I want to bring it up now. Um, it's interesting to me that he didn't know where he was because like, why wouldn't you go look for like a mile marker? Like
that's what I was thinking. Why wouldn't you go look for a mile marker?
something.
I feel like because he was okay.
Or was he so like I am here, I know I'm here?
Yeah, he was very adamant. Even on the
Okay.
phone, he was kind of. He seemed like adamant, and he was kind of like, I guess, in a way, like when he was like cussing at his parents in an angry way. He was kind of like, "Hey, bro, like I'm fucking here. Like, come on, man, you got to see me." And his parents were, "I don't see you, dude." So he kept flashing his lights and everything like that. You're right. That would have been a great idea for Swanson. He should have
I
gone out to look for a
I,
fucking
I know hindsight is 2020, but it
yeah.
just that's what like kind of stuck out to me last time because I was just like, I mean, especially if they say they can't see you, wouldn't you like go find a something?
And also, like, why are you just flashing your lights out at people? Like, honestly, if I see lights flashing, I'm like 8 times out of 10, I might not even notice. But if you're out there on the side of the road, oh, I'll see you for sure. Like, he should have walked out at least to that because he was out a little bit further down. But it's like, there's so many things that he missed, like the mile marker. That's a good point.
Why wouldn't you put your hazards on?
Why wouldn't you put your hazards
So it's
on?
always flashing.
Yeah, so it's constantly flashing. I mean, I guess the high beams you could see them clear.
But you could keep it flashing while you're looking around for
Right,
stuff.
right.
And
Lead yourself back
we're
to the truck
we
every
are
time.
not blaming the victim.
No,
We're
no, no,
just
no, no.
I'm just confused because it how drunk was he? Because these are things that
And this is part of the reason where it shows that he was maybe more intoxicated than he believed. Again, don't drive because you think you
like
do
seriously,
and you don't.
because you're endangering everybody
Yeah.
else. Like
And thankfully he didn't endanger anybody else too much, but he endangered himself. So basically, they're going back and forth with this. The call keeps dropping, the call keeps picking up. Like they're trying to figure out. They're both getting frustrated. So finally, Brandon Swanson goes, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm just gonna walk into the fucking town and they can find me there. You know what I mean? Fuck it, right? So he walks to what he thinks is the town. Very bright lights, very set of bright lights. So he goes, "Cool, I'm walking this way." He keeps walking, and his dad and him are on the phone. And he's like, "Nah, man, you can't see. Old as fuck." I'm sorry. I'm sure I'm paraphrasing incorrectly, but whatever. So he's talking to him, and then all of a sudden, his dad hears, "Oh shit," and the line cuts right after the "oh shit." So investigators begin searching areas, begin searching the whole area. They keep walking. They do a very big, massive manhunt that is it is stymied by rights. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these lands are farmlands, are people's lands that they're private property. So cops can't just be like, "Hey, dead boy, we got to go here," or "Hey, missing boy, we got to
and to be
ransack your
fair,
shit."
why is he on there?
Why is he on there?
Why
Why
would
is he on my
I
property?
that's the questions I had like just thinking about it like
Why are you on my
you're
property?
stranded somewhere. Why aren't you by the road?
Right,
Like
exactly.
what? Like
And he was walking, which is again what people go like, why
and
was
what
he
year
just
was this
walking?
by the way?
This was in 2007, 8, 2007 is when he did that,
I
just before
wonder if
2
they
a.m.
had flashlights on their phones. Why didn't you have your light on?
I don't think they had it at that point. I
Okay,
think
because
that I
because
think that was still when
I'm
we were
I, I'm
downloading the
just like
apps.
thinking like you know what I mean? Like why it just it's like an oh shit shouldn't happen.
Right.
I'm just confused by it. That's what gets me. Like
Here's what gets me. Here's what gets me because I didn't mention this in the previous episode. His parents are on the phone with him. They don't report him missing until about 6:30 a.m. And that call where he says, "Oh shit," happened at 2:30, 47 minutes into that call. So go from 2:30, 47 minutes is still about what? Let's say 3:30 is a full hour, which it is. 47 minutes, which is like less than 10, 15 minutes afterward, like before that. So why did it take you 3 hours to report that? That to me, I would if you said "oh shit" on the phone, I'm reporting it immediately. Like something happened.
I
especially with an oh shit. You know what I mean?
The oh shit, but like if you're like, oh, if he's going to town and you like, especially if you know your kid, like, okay, he can walk there, but yeah, definitely the oh shit, and then the line cut,
Right.
like,
That's alerting.
yeah,
And then you had the police issue where a lot of people have this misconception that the police it's a law that you have to wait 48 hours before you do that. No, it's not. It's not true.
it depends.
It not even depends.
No,
It's just a policy that they create. It's not an actual law. So it's a policy that they create to not do paperwork. So the 48 hour 24 to 48 hours is them doing that. If you cause a bit of a fit, they'll be
no,
like, "All right, never mind.
and
Like
why?
this is a problem."
I just don't understand, like,
Well, cuz a lot of these missing people are adults. So in their mind they have a right to be missing, but at the same time it's like if they have a right to be missing, but if the parents, the friends, the people who know him the best are saying, "Hey, something's a little screwy here."
he didn't just leave.
Maybe you should listen to them because these are the people that really know him. And then all of a sudden, at the end of these investigations, you see a lot of the investigators go, "Well, if we only had more time." Well, if you would have only taken the case 24 hours before, you might have had that.
And
And it's
it
not really
doesn't
their
seem
fault
like it's a
though.
person that's trying to leave.
Right? Exactly. Like especially like they didn't pack anything. They didn't do anything. Oh well, they misdirected us. Yeah, but you could have been drunk. Like, well,
Why would you do that?
you know what I mean?
You don't
Like
have to go through all that to leave. You could just leave. You're
you
an
could have just
adult.
left. So
Just take your car, dip,
and
bye.
been like dip. And there's been cases out there that even I've stumbled on where they're missing, and then the police locate them, and then they go, "Hey, we don't want anything to do with those people over there. I'm done. I'm not with them." And the police go, "Hey, he's not missing. He's fine. He just never wants to talk to you again. So you do what you got to do."
Dude, I've heard of ones where literally the whole missing persons happen, and the person calls in like, hey, don't, you know,
Look for me, yeah, because
yeah,
it's me.
there's nothing wrong. I left, and then it's over, and then the family gets all mad. It's like, well, but that's doesn't seem like that's what happened here. That's
Right.
it doesn't seem like a peace. I'm out. It seems like an oh shit.
Yeah. Like oh
Like,
fuck.
yeah, like
Like
there's
something happened, which is funny because they traced his cell phone, and the calls that he was doing had been made from a tower that intersects county routes 3 and 10 near Minnesota, another town along the highway 68. There's a problem though. A lot of people realize that cell towers have like a 5 to 10 mile radius, so
yeah, because
it's
it triangulates.
yeah, so it's anywhere in that area unless you got a specific hit. It's anywhere in the area. So if they just routed it through a tower, then that means that that tower is probably not where he's at. He's probably anywhere between that cross
Yeah, the
intersection.
giant section.
Right, exactly. So they brought in bloodhounds, they brought in fucking guard dogs, they brought or not guard dogs, search dogs, everything, all terrain vehicles, up, down, everything. They searched everywhere for this guy. They couldn't find him. The biggest lead that they got is that the dogs traced it out all the way down to a lake and got in the lake and then got out. Or like a river, they got in and got out.
On the
And
other
then
side,
on the same side, but the track kept going. So their scent kept going and it went all the way up to a driveway. However, they weren't allowed to search that driveway because other than the dog, what's the probable cause? Which we've seen now that a lot of
they're not
people,
as
not that they're not as reliable, is that dogs can trigger for anything. No matter how trained they are, everyone has a bad day. So it's you need a little bit more probable cause. You know what I mean? So a lot of these places that it led to ended up being dead ends. Like they couldn't search it. They couldn't search it. Months later, they were able to obtain late like searches and stuff like that. But by that time, it's like you move the evidence for sure. You know what I mean? Like so, a lot of the prosecutors and stuff thought that maybe the dogs were thrown off the trail. That's why they kept walking, but they directed them directly to this driveway. So either Brandon walked down to the creek, fell. That's why he said, "Oh shit," and then got up and then continued walking and then ran into
whoever.
whatever or whoever this was, or B, he ran into them and they drugged them down to the river. There might have been a struggle, and then they led them back to the driveway, and that's where he ended up. And the reason that they probably don't detect him leaving is because, well,
in the car.
not just that, he was probably dead because they're not cadaver dogs; they're search dogs. So you search for the live scent. It's like, well, if the live scent cuts off, it's probably because they're dead. But again, we don't know how
It
good
just
these dogs are, but that's generally the consensus.
I like if he just left on his own, that seems like a shit ton of stuff to do
For that,
for you didn't have to do any of
you
that.
didn't have to do any of that. But and a lot of these people don't. He didn't like a lot of these people who are testifying for him. They don't see how he would have just left.
It doesn't make
It doesn't
it's
make
too
sense.
much.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's too stupid. It's too oh I'll go on the wrong road and flash my lights and
Right.
then I'll walk and then I'll I'll get mad at my parents and tell them they were on the wrong way, but I'll keep them on the phone
And even if
and
you like,
then
let's say
I'll
you were
like
gonna fake your death to go away. Why would you do that to your parents on a heartstring to leave them with oh shit, and now they're thinking
yeah
of the
that's
worst
really
thing?
messed up and they think they fucked up and
Yeah,
they killed their kid like
yeah. If we would have been here a minute
yeah
before, he would have been
maybe we could
fine.
help him like
You know what I mean? Like, why would you do that? Like, I
that doesn't
understand
make
if you
sense.
wanna, like, I understand if you're like, okay, I'm gonna make them think I died, crash your car, no body found,
And if
whatever. Okay,
they're so terrible that you want to leave and all that, right? Why'd you call them?
yeah. Why would you call them to make it believable? Like, you could have called your friends, and it would just been just as believable. Like, I don't understand
Or
that.
you put in like, oh, there's you try to call them like you just oh
There's
yeah
no service out here
yeah
between these five
you have it
service
ring
towers.
once and hang up or you have it hang up like
Yeah,
oh
or
you
do the
tried
whole, hey, was a mom,
yeah
click, and
yep
then like, okay, he's gone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't seem as bad, but that's still a lot. You know what I mean? Like, that's still a crazy
but
amount.
it just doesn't.
It doesn't add up. Now, a lot of these theories, it's funny because a lot of these theories go to the whole cops were involved in this and all that stuff. I'm rereading this case a lot, and
I don't see
I don't see that.
why.
I don't see that the cops would have been involved in any way. I think it's just the cops like, hey, we have to wait 24 to 48 hours, and then shit got out of control. And it's like, is that bad on their part? Yes,
I
but
don't. I'll say this with like my stuff too.
yeah,
It's not always aliens.
it's
It's not
not.
always the cops.
Yeah,
It's not
except
some
Boys on the Track.
nefarious.
That was fucking the cops.
It's anyway. It's not always like the conspiracy or
Right,
some big player or whatever.
and sometimes it is, but I don't see this being
Not
that case.
no. It doesn't. Let's go kill a drunk guy.
Why?
That seems like way more work than okay, if the cops are all like fucking psychopaths, even then it seems like way more work than it would be fun
Yeah,
for
and
them.
you also have cases that are very similar to this, like Brandon Lawson, the guy that got randomly, what is it? He abandoned his truck. He was being chased by some people. Like, that's also more believable that it could be the cops. Like, you had the dog signal at the cop. You had the operator hearing other people in the background, gunshots. Okay, you could have associated all that. Um, the distorted audio where it sounds like he might have been saying "state trooper." There's more evidence, but in this one, it's like there's no evidence minus the whole let's wait 24 to 48 hours, and that's not valid enough to be like, oh, that's cops conspiracy. It's like,
And they don't have enough going on to with the driveway or anything. Like I think they should have been able to investigate a little bit more and talk to the person or whatever.
yeah,
But
I'm sure there was other
people,
complications.
dude, I've had people walk up on my driveway because they literally this true story literally happened when I was younger. Guy, older gentleman, he walked too far. No water. He walked by. Hey, can I? Yeah, go ahead here.
Yeah,
That doesn't mean anything happened.
yeah,
And so if he went missing, I didn't do any. That
and
doesn't mean you
sometimes
do
and
anything.
sometimes it's just a mistake in not just a mistake. Like, oh hey, he's gone. Like before my mom bought the house, I guess there was another person there or another old couple there. The police came over because they were like, hey, we haven't seen these guys. Like some of the neighbors were like, we haven't seen these guys in a while. And then these random people moved in, so they came in and they're like, "Hey, what's going on?" Oh, well, we think those guys moved out. Oh, okay, cool. They moved off
It
later.
doesn't always
Yeah.
mean they did it.
No,
Why
no,
would
no,
you do it?
no.
Because like
Absolutely not.
investigate. I'm all for that, but the oh shit is the problem.
Yeah,
The oh shit
that's where
is
the
the
problems
problem.
come in.
Everything else, I don't.
Because also even afterwards, they passed a law, Brandon's law, making it to where they have to search now, right as it's done. Because the law in that state, I guess, or the policy in that state states that adults you need 24 to 48 hours, and children you go immediately. So now it's missing people you address immediately,
Yeah,
rather
I
than
think we have it like that, and it's not
yeah,
immediately, but it's like it's like the silver alert or whatever. They
yeah,
will investigate like right away if they're
yeah,
like
right away.
older or if someone's
Amber
disabled or
alerts,
something. Yeah, something
yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. It's
But if you're
always
just
right
like
away.
if it was like you or me, they'd wait like
They're gonna wait
24
a minute.
hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna wait. They're gonna wait a minute just because again we have the right to. But again, if the cops are so corrupt and about that, why would they kill their law that would give them the
Yeah,
time
that
to
seems
cover
like
it up? Like it
it.
doesn't seem like it.
And what are they covering up? Why'd they kill him?
Yeah, for me, I honestly think there's a bunch of theories here. Like I was looking at them. Like again, one is the cops, the conspiracy. Oh, the cops killed him. This because you have these little details that are like coincidences with certain cops where you're like, oh well, he happened to be on this same street and then turned off like a mile before Brandon. It's like
Bro, where
that's a
we're at,
coincidence.
if a car accident happens outside, did we do it?
Yeah, right. It's like
We just, well, you happen to be there.
we happen to be here
Okay.
all the time.
Like,
Like
that doesn't correlate. Like
right.
I see this all the time with my stuff where they want to place these things. It's like, no, sometimes people are just around.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and by the way, I sure hope a cop is around, like
Yeah.
in those areas, doing their job. Like,
Because there's a lot of creepy people out there. Like
and a
and
lot of times with those, especially like state troopers and stuff,
yeah.
they go out on the highways and stuff, and they're just cruising, looking for people who are broken down to help them
Yeah. 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 They do that.
and call them in like if they need emergency services, if they need a tow truck, like
Because a lot of people don't
they'll just
realize that
call
there's
them in for
state
you.
there's state that there is state tow trucks and stuff like that that sponsored that work with sheriff's departments and stuff to where like, hey, you're stranded, you can't get a tow truck. Oh, the tow truck's gonna be here in 3 hours, bro. My guy's up the street 45 minutes. Let's
Yeah,
go.
they'll just call it for you, and as long as you're like cool, like
Yeah, they won't give a shit. If like
yeah,
obviously if you're being a prick, they're gonna be like, all right, it's gonna be like $85. But usually, like I've broken
I
down and they're like, hey, that's okay. I'll just call the guy and
I
you'll be
just
good.
don't. I get it. I like conspiracy theories too,
Yeah.
but not everything.
And I get the frustration of wanting to blame the cops because you're like 24 to 48 hours. You're
But
like,
I
all
don't.
right,
But okay, like motive. Why?
why would they do that?
The best thing I can think of, genuinely, my theory on what happened is he got hit by a car. He got hit by a car. They picked him up. They dumped him somewhere.
Yeah,
Maybe it was the person that the driveway went to. He, oh shit, I fucking hit him. I didn't mean to. He didn't know what to do. He got dumped.
he got dumped. Yeah,
Um,
which again,
maybe in the river.
maybe in the well, they searched the river.
Okay,
So they searched the river. They weren't able to find him. So what they think, like the most leading theory, because we have a Bigfoot theory and we have an alien theory, bro. It gets wild, bro. It
guys,
gets
like
wild.
you can't do this
It gets
every time.
wild, dude.
You
It's
can't
so
do this
funny.
every time.
It's so funny. Obviously, those
And
are
and
like ludicrous stories. Like no one
I
believes those theories, but they're there. I brought them up.
I'm on your side most of the time, but no, no,
I'm not gonna
he's
go too much into those theories,
oh
but
shit doesn't mean he got abducted by aliens.
and if you saw aliens, why would you say oh shit? That wouldn't
I
be
would say
my.
oh shit.
I don't think that would be my first reaction. I think I'd pee like a little bit, and then maybe oh shit if we have
Technically, we
time.
don't know if he peed,
Yeah, we wouldn't know if he peed.
but it
He might have
just,
peed first. Another one was that he found Bigfoot, and the Bigfoot took him to not be revealed. And I was like, why would the Bigfoot care if he's revealed? I mean, I can see that he's hiding, but like, how would he have that comprehension?
dude, this is painful.
Yeah, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
no, no. Just you can't go to okay. We can't find him. It was fucking Bigfoot. You
Bigfoot.
can't do that.
No.
You go to the most logical explanations that you can.
And then
Then
eliminate those.
yeah, and then you go to the fantastical.
Right.
You don't start there.
Right. If you see a grainy video footage of some dude sitting there and then a fucking huge ass Sasquatch, you go, okay, maybe it was Bigfoot. Maybe.
Or it's a fucking bear.
Or it's a bear. But there's other things. Anyway, this law,
Sorry, just
no, I get you. This law made it so that way now everybody gets to be searched right away and taken seriously. The cops have a theory that they think most likely happened. It's very similar to yours. What they think is that he was trying to talk to someone and someone was looking at him and someone saw him break down and walk over to the thing, and when he was on the phone, he either A saw them and dropped the phone and being terrified and it hung up, or B, he didn't see them and he fell into the water. Fucked up his phone, grabbed it, put it in his pocket. He's like, well, that's fucked. I'll fix that later. Put it in his pocket and continued walking. And when he walked, he probably walked to the nearest house thinking, hey, they're going to help me out. And maybe, just maybe, the person that was there maybe was either a little nervous or something, maybe shot him, or maybe, like you said, he got ran over by a car. They panicked.
you got
They freaked
lectured.
out. He got lectured. he panicked. He freaked out. They probably hit his body in somewhere on their farm.
They
Avoided the.
ice manned him.
They
Put in
ice
the
manned him.
freezer.
Maybe not in the freezer. Maybe they just got rid of his body. Like, okay, no one wants to say it, but pigs eat people. It takes it takes 12 pigs about 2.5 minutes to devour an entire person. Like, don't ask how I know that. But the point is, it it happens. You would only have to wait a few days. So like, if they starved their pigs on their farm for like 2 3 days, they took his body and they dumped it to the pigs. He
I
could be
think we
gone
are
that way.
missing one very valid and reasonable theory.
If you say mole people, I'm gonna hit you.
Nope. Skinwalkers.
Stop. Get out. In Minnesota? Come on, man. Be
Skinwalkers.
realistic. Only in
Skinwalkers.
Arizona. Only in Arizona.
Skinwalkers.
But no, they think that that's most likely what happened. There's believe it or not, there's
Hey,
actually,
I'd say oh shit too if I saw a coyote smoking a cigarette.
yeah, I would be a little weird unless it's like chasing a roadrunner. Then I'd be like, oh, okay, I get it.
Why is it smoking?
You don't think Wile E. Coyote smokes? He smoked a lot.
Yeah, you had a bad day.
He had a few cigarettes.
Yeah.
That episode where he's punching in and out, he smoked at least three on that shift. Like, anyway, but it's
You didn't refute my theory.
I didn't refute your theory. I didn't.
It's
I
just
don't
as
know what you.
ridiculous as the other ones.
Yes, it is. I'm surprised you're
Actually,
not on
mine
here.
works better.
Actually, yeah. Actually, yeah. If it was a skin, yeah.
It works better. Like,
Okay, new theory. No shitting.
come on, guys. Like, that took me like 2 minutes.
That was like low hanging fruit. Like, anyway, but that's what they think happened. They encountered someone, and statistically around this area and around a lot of like farm areas and stuff like that, um, they don't do this, but a lot of these accidents happen like that. You know what I mean? And just a bunch of other like a bunch of other cases. There's another case where a woman goes missing. She calls her husband saying that some dude's following her, and then he throws his car in drive, and as he's driving out, he hears his wife being taken in the car, and he throws the car in reverse without thinking. And for car enthusiasts, that fucked up your transmission. So as he's trying to gain on him, he loses power. There's no plates on the truck. It's an old truck. And the guys were like, the police were like, we hate to be this guy, but you're probably never going to see her again. It's like, why? He's like, well, a lot of these people who own farms, they have cars that they go gas up without plates all the time because they
They
use it
just
for
drive
their
it on the
on their
farm.
property.
Yeah.
You don't need to have registration if you drive it on your property.
Yeah.
So, and then their property is so big that they can just turn into a random corner and they're on their property again.
Yeah.
And you can't follow, or you can't, even if you could follow, it's like, where do you even begin? You know what I mean? Like, their property's so big. So there's cases that have been like that they're like, hey, you're probably never gonna see her again. And this people, or at least the police think that this might have been a case like that, where he fell, either he fell or he encountered someone and it was an accident or it was on purpose and they just got rid of him. Because I could definitely see it like if he got like shot, like maybe it was a hunter, saw movement, boss, fired and was like, oh fuck, I hit a kid. I hit a kid, my life is over. My life no it's not. No it's not. I'm gonna take the kid.
I can clean this
I
up.
can I
Yeah,
can fix this. I can fix this. No one has to know. My wife doesn't have to know. My kids don't have to know. Police don't have to. Nobody knows. Nobody's here. And saw the phone and goes, I have to get rid of this right now. And he's gone. It's not that far out of imagination. I do feel bad for the guy if this was an accident. Bro's got to be eating you inside. Like, just confess. Just say something. You know what I mean?
just yeah. What do
What
you
do you
do?
do? Do you hide the body? Do you call the police? Like, because if you call the police, no one's believing you. No one's gonna believe you. You kidnapped him for sure. Like, even if you didn't, no one's gonna believe that. Like, oh, I accidentally shot him while I was hunting at night in the middle of the night. Well, it's a multiple day thing. People who don't know about hunting would be like, "That's weird. Why would you do that?" Like, when
Even then, it's like you
at this spot, like
you couldn't tell.
a human from a deer,
Like I get it. It's night. I understand,
maybe
but like,
behind the brush,
by the way,
whatever.
you would get in trouble because that means you didn't like actually check about what you're shooting. So
Yeah,
you're still going to get in trouble.
yeah.
Even like that adds on to everything. That's like reckless endangerment,
And
like
maybe
all
that's
this
why
stuff.
he took the body. He was like, "Fuck this. I'm gonna get in trouble no matter what. Even if this kid survives, I'm gonna fucking."
I
And
mean,
God knows if and well, not God, but and who knows if Brandon was still repairable. Like if he was not dead yet, and the guy was like, "I have to finish this off."
I know you said they checked the river and everything, but like trips, breaks the phone, falls in the river, you know, drowns,
Gets carried off.
and it's too way farther than,
By the time they collect the body, it's so decomposed that they don't even recognize him anymore.
or they don't. Fish eat them.
Or
Bear.
yeah,
That shit happens. Like
yeah.
it's.
I mean, also like
I think that's I have to say now. Like with all of
yeah,
the
shit
stories and stuff,
happens.
it's like, hey, we can't. You can't go to the worst possible situation every time.
Right. And a
Cause
lot of
weird shit happens in life.
not
Like
just weird shit happens. A lot of these cases that are along those like rivers and stuff that are closer to the well, not Minnesota's closer to the ocean, but one of those rivers leads to a bigger river that goes down, will feed into the ocean. I'm not saying that this is what happened in this case, but a lot of people are seeing like in Mississippi and Missouri, all that stuff where they have those lakes or in those rivers that go down to the main ocean. A lot of bull sharks swim up those things. So a lot of these missing people that they're finding are not really missing.
okay, so skinwalkers is crazy. Sh- River sharks.
Bro, I'm serious. Like
I know. I'm just saying. Like, wait, Shark Man,
shark. No, stop.
Shark Man.
Shark. Stop.
Oh
Stop.
my
Shark
God,
man.
Street
No.
Shark.
No, not street shark. Stop it. Stop with the shitty '90s fucking TV shows that are ripoffs of TMNT. Anyway, but that's actually a thing. Like if you look at a lot of the statistics for missing people, a lot of those missing people that are in those areas are now not now being ruled at it, but they're considering that as a way of things happening because of the fact that
Like
bull sharks have been found there.
that. Like to think that you're gonna find the body every time. Like that's
It's almost
hubris.
arrogant. Yeah,
Yeah,
hubris. Yeah,
it's just like, guys, it's okay. Like, no, it's not okay. It sucks that you don't have the answer, but like shit happens.
yeah,
I could completely see falls in the river, hits his head, floats down the river, drowns. There he goes.
yeah,
And because of the time, depending on how like warm the river is, rigor sets in. It kind of completes itself, so the gases have been expelled, especially in the wound. That it gives it a chance to like expel, so it doesn't float anymore.
yeah.
It just
I
like
not even that far. Think about this very plausible thing. He walks up after he loses his phone. Walks up to the driveway. of an old man and an old woman, right? They're the farmers, right? And all of a sudden, the farmer can't see very well. He hears someone in the distance, can't really make out what it is.
Gets
Let's
got.
say what?
Gets got.
Gets got. He shoots Brandon thinking, "Oh my God, it's an intruder." And then the wife comes in and goes, "Ernest, why would you shoot a kid?"
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what I mean? Like, and then all of a sudden they have to get rid of it. They have to get like that makes more sense to me. I'm like, oh, okay, I could see that. It's dark. You're in the middle of nowhere. You're on your property that is miles away from the nearest road, and a random dude walks up to your driveway. I'm shooting. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna shoot. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing here? Because a lot of those places they have the house right in the center and then everything else around them.
Yeah, so you can
So,
look
yeah, exactly. So you can look. Now imagine a dude walks up from nowhere
in the middle of the night, drunk.
in the middle of the night. Yeah, partially intoxicated, probably cussing because he can hear his phone like "fuck," not sure, blah 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 blah, because he just dropped his phone. You're gonna think it's a trespasser. I'm gonna fucking shoot. Sorry, you know what I mean? And a lot of people don't really connect A and B, so it gets dragged onto these. Oh well, this person did this, or you get these stupid Bigfoot stories, or all that stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what to say because I no. The
you're
answer is
missing
no.
you're missing half the story. Like,
Like
you
I don't
know,
know what you that see. I think both the scenarios we came up with are highly plausible, and the fact that everyone had to jump to all these other conclusions, I actually find annoying.
yeah, it's like put
Like
down the big red. Go
like
see some light.
touch grass,
Touch
touch
grass
it,
for a
like
minute.
like do a
Ground
little
yourself.
like fuzz, like ooh, like just for a moment. Like you can't do that every time. It's not fair to the victim. It actively hurts cases, or if you don't even go to the aliens or any of that stuff, assuming that they did something. Because I bet you the cops had that in mind too.
Yeah,
And it's like, guys, what led you there? Okay, well, you had the sniff. Awesome, awesome. I can see that. Did you do anything else? Oh, we can't. Well, did you talk to anyone? Did you talk to about that? Those people, are they insular? Are they like,
yeah,
or are they really? Because it changes things if they're really friendly. Well,
yeah.
why the fuck did they kill him? Why would you? If they're
Right.
like really nice, friendly people, and they're known kind of, this does happen every once in a while, and they're completely fine with it. So
Why
what
would you kill
now?
him? Yeah.
What
What
now?
would you kill him?
What's your answer to this now? You don't have one.
Or then again, let's say you find the body. Let's say you find it. It's in a garage, whatever. Right? You find it, whatever. The most you'd be able to really get him for would be
Manslaughter.
not even manslaughter, probably fucking desecration of a corpse, because in reality he's trespassing. You know what I mean? I don't know the laws in Minnesota, but in a sense he's trespassing. So if you really want to argue it, one of the lawyers is going to be like, well, what was he doing on the property?
And all the dude would have to say is like, "Oh yeah, no, he charged me."
And where's your evidence that he didn't? No. It's like, there you
Or
go.
hey, I told him to leave. He didn't.
Yeah. And you know that, and you know, maybe a kid that age or whatever would have been like, oh, come on, please just let me borrow the phone. No, you need to get the fuck out. Dude, please. I've been walking for like an hour. Just give me the fucking phone. And maybe getting irate because his parents can't find him. Drop this fucking phone. He's like, dude, I just need to fucking call my parents. Just leave me the fuck
Uh,
alone.
you're you scared me. Bam,
Yeah, you scare
dead.
me. Out of here. He's done. And it sucks, but that's how it goes, unfortunately. Like, what would you do in that situation? I would do exactly that. I'd be like, no, you're getting the fuck off my property, or you're gonna get the fuck off my property. And it sucks, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, what if they're friendly? What do you do then? What do you do if they're friendly? What do you
What's your
do?
answer?
Or not just that, what do you do if they're friendly, and because you have that, you violate their Fourth Amendment right, and you search the house and you come up with nothing.
But now, or
Let's say that they did do it.
you talk to him like, oh yeah, the guy, yeah, no, he looked like he had a one too many. Yeah, we tried to let him use the phone, but our phone doesn't. It's not
Yeah.
working.
So we sent him
So
on his way,
yeah,
but
so
that's
he
it.
left and said thank you, and he was gone.
I haven't seen him
What
since then.
what now? What are you
Yeah,
gonna say? What do you
and
like? What,
and you violated their privacy. You did all
now
that
everyone
shit,
thinks they're killers.
and
Like
not just that. Let's say that you violated their privacy and did all that. Now they can sue you. So now you did get closer to finding him. You're out money because they sued them, and you violated these old people's rights for no reason other than the dog sniffed. So I see both sides of it. It's like, and a lot of people would be like, "Well, if they're innocent, why didn't they let them search?" Because it's my fucking property. Like I don't have
You don't
to.
have to.
Yeah, I don't have to let you search, even if I did it or not. Like I don't have to.
I see. I think most people would, and I think they should. I think they
Yeah,
like if it's a really serious situation, fine. But I think they need to make the laws a little bit more clear that if they go in your home and they're looking for something else and they see, the whole fruit from the poison tree kind of thing,
yeah,
they can't get
and
you on that for that.
that's where that law comes in. Like basically what you can see with your eyes. It's like, dude, it works
Because
both ways. Because
you can do that for anyone.
but
Oh, hey, we're actually looking for a missing person. They said they came around here, so we need to search your house.
bro, not just that, but like
Yeah.
you could do that with cops too. Like there's been people I've witnessed cases like that where I've gone to court. Not me, I wasn't involved. I was just observing. But a guy complained to the police department because he had a diet coke in his cup holder, and they were like, "Oh no, he was drinking on the job." It's like, and then you think about it, you're like, would you be able to tell the difference if it was a diet coke or if it was a beer? I don't think I would. It's a silver can,
The only way through smell. And how do you?
and how do you get that close? Like,
Well, to be fair, I've seen people that hide it, and you can clearly like I have bad smell. I can't smell things very well,
yeah,
and even I could smell the vodka. So it's like I could see that, but if you can't smell it, fucking prove it,
prove it.
prove it.
It's a silver can. It's like that's
It'd
18
be
drinks.
it'd be different if like they had some kind of rule or something like, hey, all beers are in silver cans. So if you see it, it's like, nah, nah, nah,
Silver
nah, nah.
can.
No, no, no.
But
Sodas aren't allowed
you
to
have
be.
Diet Coke, you have Diet Pepsi, you have fucking the
The
sparkling water. There's a sparkling water that comes in a silver can now.
the
Liquid
the
Death looks like a Coors Light bottle.
the caffeine free Coke. It's like a gold.
It
Guess
looks like
what?
a Coors
There's
Light.
yeah.
It looks like a Coors
Prove
Light.
it. Prove it's
Yeah.
like that doesn't mean
Liquid
anything.
Death, the water from
It's black and gold.
it's black and gold or it's black and silver.
Yeah.
It looks like a beer.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I would believe that was a beer, but how can you prove it unless you went? You know what I mean? And that's plain view doctrine. That's what I was looking
Yeah.
for. The
Yeah.
plain view doctrine. You can do that with a cop too. I saw a case like that, and the cop was like, "Dude, it's a Diet Coke," and I was like, "I believe that because you weigh like 350 pounds of nothing but lean muscle." Like that dude, I thought he was wearing a thick jacket. He took it off. I was like, "Oh,
He probably shouldn't be drinking Diet Coke, but
he probably
still.
shouldn't be drinking Diet Coke." But I believe it more than beer. It's like, oh, he hasn't seen a drop of grained alcohol in a while. Look at his body percent fat is like 0.5.
But
You know what I mean? Like,
anyway,
come on.
just you can't do this every time. I think that's where we should leave off on this episode because like
Yeah, I agree.
there's no answers, there's no anything. I don't know what.
Yeah, that's it.
I feel bad for the family.
I
I
feel
feel
bad
bad
for
for his
him.
parents. I hope something comes of it, but
That's all you can do. And again, a lot of people are getting angry, but that's people's
and
rights,
and,
man.
and
It's like,
shitting on the cops, shit on them for shit they do.
right.
They do plenty.
They
There's
do plenty of
plenty
shit.
of stuff you can get mad at them about.
But
Do
this,
that.
I think they were trying to help. They changed the
Yeah.
law.
Choose.
Like,
Yeah. Choose.
I don't know.
But yeah, I think we'll just leave it there for this one. I've been Tyler,
I'm still Sean.
and have a good night.
See you guys.